Marjorie Taylor Greene decided to let the entire world know this week that she has nothing but contempt and disdain for working class Americans. She actually attacked and berated Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she worked in a bar. She was a blue-collar, working-class person who's now in Congress. What a horrible thing to have, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, I will read the full attack, which is far worse than what I just said in just a moment, but let me go ahead and set this up. So this week, Marjorie Taylor Greene does a podcast with Eric Bolling, who I didn't even know he was still on the air anyway, but apparently he does a podcast now. They were talking about Jasmine Crockett and her, I'm going to be honest, rather funny attacks on Texas Governor Greg Abbott. While I typically do not support in any way people mocking anyone else for a disability, considering the fact that Abbott is, of course, a human pile of garbage who has devoted his life to making the lives of others miserable, I'm okay. I'm not going to go after Jasmine Crockett for that, and I'm not going to condemn her. I'm actually okay with it. Abbott is a piece of crap who has destroyed people's lives. So, mock him if you want. I don't care. But the conversation about Crockett then led into AOC, leading Eric Bolling to say this. And by the way, I think AOC is going to have a little something to say about who's going to be the nominee in 2028. Because they had talked about Jasmine Crockett being the nominee, because Greene said that the Democrats are trying to elevate her. I wish they were. By the way, I wish they were elevating Jasmine Crockett, but they're not. They're trying to hold her down. But anyway, to the claim about AOC running in 2028, Greene said this. Yeah, I can weigh in on her. This is a woman, she's never been married. She has no children. She's never had a job other than working in a bar. And that was short term from what we understand. She's never run a business. This is a woman that has really no life experience and has no life wisdom because she's never done any of those things. This is why no one will take her serious as a presidential candidate, because we don't want someone that's propped up by the Democrat progressive establishment and who's basically an actress herself making the most important decisions in America on behalf of Americans, who most of them have had jobs, have jobs, ran companies, have children, have been married. AOC has had jobs, as you admitted. She was a bartender. And of course, that was literally just one of the jobs that she had. She's worked other jobs, blue collar working class jobs. She went to college, put herself through college, did very well in college, won awards, very intelligent person. She's not married and has no kids. Okay. Same thing with tens of millions of other Americans. She never ran a business. The vast majority of people in this country will never run a business. And that's not a bad thing. That means nothing, actually. I mean, look at the people we have in government today that have run businesses. How are they doing, Marge? How's Donald Trump doing? I know you think he's doing great. Poll numbers tell us otherwise. The constant chaos and confusion and incompetence from his administration, including from people like Elon Musk, who's also run businesses, shows us that running a business might actually hinder your ability to run a government, because the government, unfortunately for conservatives, is not a business. Nor do we want it run like one, because when Trump did it 4 years ago, it ran the damn country into the ground. So maybe back off the run government like a business thing. But this is an attack on the entire working class, folks. That's what this is. She was a bartender. She worked a job. Let me tell you why that upsets Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, for those who may not know this, her parents in Georgia owned a very successful construction company that made millions and millions of dollars. So when Marge got married to her first husband, her parents gave her the business. So basically, they just handed her millions of dollars. So rather than run that business, Marge said, you know what? I want to open a gym. So she took the highly successful business's money and opened a CrossFit gym, which didn't do so great. So even your business prowess does not exist. You took money from a very successful company, one that basically is self-perpetuating. Its construction, we're never not gonna need that, to open a gimmick gym. You divorced your husband after allegedly having an affair with the guy from One American News? You think that makes you better than AOC? Philandering and adultery? All right. I mean, that's one way to go, I guess, if that's who you are, which clearly it is. But you've had everything handed to you, Marge, and that is the part of your story that most people don't even realize. Much like Trump, much like Musk, Marjorie Taylor Greene was handed everything in her life, handed millions of dollars, essentially, to squander and do whatever. She is not poor. She is not destitute. She has never had to struggle between paying rent or buying food. People like AOC have. People like me have. And that's why her comments are so disgusting, because it's not just about AOC. It's about anybody that has ever had to work their butt off for virtually no pay and still struggle to pay bills. But you know what? Those are the people I want running the country. I want people who know what it's like to struggle, because they understand what the rest of us are going through. Marge, you come from a very poor district. And do you know how many people in your district you just insulted with your comment here? I don't think you do. I don't think you realize that, because I don't think you're intelligent enough to get that through your head. But every working class person in this country, regardless of political affiliation, you ought to be offended and disgusted by these comments from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Are your emails truly private? If you're using a free email service such as Gmail, all your emails are being scanned and tracked, even after you delete them. Big tech tracks everything: your plans, your purchases, your confidential messages, building profiles to sell to advertisers or hand over to who knows who. More and more people are realizing that free email comes at a cost. They're ditching big tech and looking for privacy-focused alternatives. They want to decide who sees their information, and they want that control back. That's why I recommend StartMail. They've been a trusted name in secure email for over a decade now. And here's a key detail. StartMail is based in the Netherlands, a country renowned for its strong data and protection laws. Unlike big tech email, StartMail never scans or tracks your emails. StartMail blocks invasive tracking pixels in emails, protecting you from being monitored by companies and hackers. When you delete an email in StartMail, it's actually gone for good, ensuring your data remains private. StartMail really goes all in on privacy. They've got a bunch of great features like unlimited aliases to keep you anonymous and, of course, strong encryption to protect your emails. Moving to StartMail is hassle-free. With just a few clicks, you can easily migrate all of your existing emails and contacts to StartMail. So try StartMail for yourself, completely free for 7 days. Go to startmail.com/Farron to begin, and you'll also get a 50% discount on your first year.